Official and Front Row Sports. Hello everybody and welcome to Front Row Racing. It's time for the World Series on F1 2016 round 1 at Australia. I'm Front Row Racing DP. I'll be one of your commentators this evening, and I'm joined in the commentary box by TempFear and Arazor21. How are you two this evening, guys?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Oh, hello. Hello. Hang on a moment, Tony. You sound awake all of a sudden.
I'm thinking the same, yeah.
Yeah. Is this the same guy we were talking to a few moments ago? I'm not sure. From a lot of people, they'll have no idea what we are going on about there. But to be honest, that's because Tony was feeling a little sleepy still. He's just had a nap. Anyway, it's not long until we get going with the World Series event here at Australia. But before we send the drivers over to the track, we will have a look at the teams and the drivers. Although, for a moment or two, I'm going to hand over to TempFear and Arazor to see what information they may have about the Australia circuit.
Right, so I'm not going to start with information. I'm going to ask Arazor a little question. What do you want to see from the drivers tonight?
Clean, fast driving, and no collisions, please. What about you, Temp?
Are you aware of what happened last season at the start of this race?
Yes, I think so.
If anyone doesn't remember that, the start of the race last season, a good 7 or 8 drivers ended up pitting at the end of the first lap. We know front wing it was a pretty hectic race. Also, Hybrid Nuke, who was racing tonight, had terminal damage. So, as long as we have at least less cars without damage, I think we'll be all right. But saying that, we have more drivers on the grid, so it might end badly.
Anything can happen.
Yes, very true.
I've got a feeling I've heard that as a song in the Lego movie. Or is it slightly different to that? Everything is awesome. That one. You have to change it for Tony to anything can happen. Oh, come on! You can't tell me you've never seen the Lego movie. Come on!
I have not.
Come on!
I do not know what you're on about.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you two are. Yeah. Okay.
Just said that.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, okay. Should we get on to who the drivers and the teams are, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon.
Sure.
I reckon we should. Okay. Bear with me 1 second while I move from one side of the commentary box to the other. Yeah, the commentary box is big enough that there's plenty of room in here. Okay. Up at the top, I just had to check that. I thought I'd pulled out my microphone cable, but I haven't. Up at the top, in Mercedes, we've got petrol pumpers of Hindle and Konzo, 2 drivers who should be looking at going for the Drivers' Championship in the World Series. Hindle is the current reigning World Series champion, and Konzo is a former champion. We've then got old crash test dummies Ferrari, that's Jason and Dave the Harp, 2 guys who could be very, very good at scoring points this season. Jason with the experience of racing the World Championship last season, and Dave the Harp, who has been getting a lot of practice in. We've then got Censored Williams, that's Hybrid Nuke and Nightwalker. Obviously Hybrid Nuke was a title contender last season, and I think we fully expect him to be a title contender again. And then Nightwalker, who is taking on a new challenge with a new teammate and is expecting to score plenty of points. We've then got New Age Outlaws Red Bull, that's Rickster and MX Everglow, formerly known as Charlie JB09WC, you know the one. Rickster, also a former World Series champion, I believe. I could be wrong on that one. Either that or I've just boosted his ego a bit. We've then got Hey Ho Double Toe Force India, that's Farthber and RDB, a brand new team pairing for this season. RDB taking his first full season, and Farthber, he's a driver we know has the potential of winning races. We've then got Wrong Tyres Renault, which is quite fitting for Richie Davey and Andy Russell, a team partnership that were together last season, and they're going to be racing this season in the bright yellow Renault, being followed by a lot of flies, I think, with that one. We've then got the $1 Million Herbie Toro Rosso, and that's Millstar and Ant69. Millstar's a driver, had plenty of reserve races last season, showed he's got some pace, also had a bit of bad luck, so we'll see how his season gets off to a start. And Ant69 returns to the track in the World Series in the hope of scoring plenty of points. We've then got myself and TempFear in one of the broadcast teams, and then we've got the Mental Age of 10 McLaren. That is a very, very fitting name for these two guys from Row Racing JS, yeah, and from Row Racing GP. Well, I tell you what though, these two, they could throw a few surprises into the World Series grid this season. GP race winner last season, and did give the Williams pairing from last season a good battle at a few occasions. And from Row Racing JS, he's been out of F1 for a while. Be very interesting to see how he gets on here. And then we get down to the Yank and Limey Manor team of Mystic Joker and Lefty Hardtail. And you know what? This is a team that I think everybody's going to be keeping an eye on, because Mystic Joker comes with a bit of confidence, and Lefty Hardtail is being bigged up by a few of the other drivers, both of these potential race winners. In the Haas, we've then got Arazor21, who's obviously in the commentary box with us, and Twist Royalty, who is going to be driving as the World Series FRR Admins Pick Rookie Driver. He did very well in the World Series Reserves race last week. And the Admins Pick Rookie team is called the FRR Marabobo Haas. And TempFear's now thinking, why that name? What, Marabobo? What on earth is that?
What name?
It's not my name. It's a name that someone else came up with. I can't say I liked it much myself, but do you want me to explain it to you?
Don't want to know.
Probably not. What's the Marabobo? It's from Yogi Bear. Anyway, as I said, I didn't come up with that name. Yeah, definitely best to move on. Okay. It's time to send the drivers over to the track, so TempFear, if you would like to do the honours, and that'll let all of the drivers know that the race is about to get going. So as we prepare ourselves then for the Front Row Racing World Series Round 1 at Australia.
Going to be an interesting one, hopefully.
Hopefully, it will be a very, very interesting one. I mean, we're not even got to the circuit yet. Do we think it could rain? Who do you think is going to get pole? Who do you think is going to win?
I think it will rain. How much and when, I don't know. But I'm feeling we will see some rain.
Go on, Tony.
And safety car.
Well, yeah, safety car. I mean, that is a good point, Tony. There is a possibility of a safety car coming out here in Australia. We had one in the World Championship race last night from an unfortunate collision. I can't remember who was involved in that one. Oh, yes, he was. You're right, he was. Okay, quick look at the tyres available. The drivers can bring a softer compound tyre, 4 super soft tyres, 1 soft, 1 medium. A balance set, which is 3 super softs, 2 softs, 1 medium, or the harder compound, which is 2 super softs, 2 softs, and 2 medium tyres. Now, For anyone that was watching yesterday, they may be aware of what tyres TempFear brought to the circuit. But Tony, if you were racing here in Australia, which way would you go? Would you go aggressive on the soft tyres, or would you go for perhaps the harder tyre and try and extend stint lengths?
Well, that's a hard question, but maybe I would go like medium tires and make it out with less pit stops.
Well, I think it's a tactic many of the drivers may go for, and I tell you what, it's looking a little bit grey and gloomy. What's the weather saying for the session? Qualifying looks dry, and the race looks dry as well. It's just cloudy and overcast.
Drivers can thank me later to say it's going to rain.
Yeah, if it does rain, definitely blame you. But it looks like it could be a case of it's cold at the moment and the temperature will pick up. If that's the case, do you think will a cooler temperature benefit around Australia, or is a hotter temperature better for the tyres?
I think hotter is how hot, I'm not sure, but I think for optimal times you would want it a few degrees warmer than this. I think it is just that bit too low.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the tyre compounds that the drivers bring to the circuit as well. The softest compound tyre, it's got a very specific window of temperature range, and it's similar for all of the tyres. So if the tyre compounds that people have brought to the circuit are outside of the temperature range that's here at the moment, it could get very difficult. This could play into the hands to someone who has perhaps brought more softer tyres, or more super soft tyres, or perhaps towards someone that has brought more harder tyres.
Very true. We've got a hybrid, the only driver out at the moment on a set of soft tyres that I'm aware of.
So he's the only one out on a set of softs. Well, we've got Richie Davey approaching turn 11 and 12. He's on a set of super softs at the moment, so he's not hanging about on lap time. Now, we did have a bit of a chat with many of the drivers over the last day or so, trying to get their pre-race thoughts, but Richie Davies one that didn't want to talk to us, so unfortunately got no pre-race comments from him. However, it looks like he's going to be the first to start a flying lap, so we'll see how he gets on there. Now, if anyone does have any questions that they want to ask or any comments they want to make, feel free to do so on the YouTube chat. Any questions, put at FRR, and then Tony will be able to keep an eye on the YouTube comments there and put your questions forward. We will also have a question of the day, which I might put out now before we've got any lap times in, but I also should introduce the commentary team with their correct commentary team names, which is I am Ted Cravsticks, bringing back the old drumstick legend. We've got Temp Gauge, which is a very plain one, really. Yeah, and then probably the best commentary name out of all of the commentators, we have Arazor21, who will for the rest of the season be known as Anthony David's sister.
What honor.
Could hear the tumbleweeds.
I love it.
Was that you? Do you like it? Do you like it?
Well, it's different, so yeah.
It is.
So you can boring like me.
Yeah, definitely could. Okay, Richie Davey, he's done a Sector 1 time of a 29.0, which isn't too shabby, really. 23.0 Sector 2, although, was it, what we were saying there, mid-28 Sector 1, mid-22 Sector 2, mid-33 Sector 3 to get into the 24s. Richie Davey's going to cross the line and go first with a 1:26.6. So, who else would...
Very solid banker time, I think. The last sector was a bit off, but I think if that's a banker time from him, it's a very, it's comfortable. So now he knows he's got a half decent time if he can push now.
Yeah. Now, Twist Royalty, he's coming into the final couple of corners. He's done a 29.1 Sector 1, a 22.9 Sector 2. So he's on about level with Richie Davey at the moment. It'll all depend on what this Sector 3 time is, as to whether he goes ahead of Richie or not. And he does with a 26.1. And Hybrid Nuke has gone into 3rd place on the soft tyre. From a Racing GP and From a Racing JS have gone 4th and 5th on the super soft tyre. Let's see who else. Andy Russell, he's been through Sector 1 and Sector 2. Have we got anyone out there that looks like they may be setting potential purple times?
Northstar's just set a purple first sector. 29.0. Got a little bit of traffic ahead of him. Ferrari gets out of the way quite nicely there. But he's got Williams also not too far up the road, so he might get a little bit of slipstream, but certainly won't be behind the fence that last sector.
Well, no, I mean, going into turns 11 and 12 as well, when you're following cars, even if they're not on a lap, the potential of dirty air, as the Williams did get well out of the way there for him. It's a 29.0 Sector 1. That is, as you said, purple. 23.2 Sector 2. He's lost out a few tenths there. It'll be interesting to see what his Sector 3 time will be as he comes into the final couple of corners in that Toro Rosso. Well, I think it's the $1 million Toro Rosso, it could be. And across the line he's going to go, but it's 2nd place with a 26.5. And there's a Ferrari just behind him as well, but Hybrid Nuke back into the pits. And so 2 Ferraris, I think, on flying laps. GP back into the pits. Andy Russell currently sitting in 7th. RDB, he's just starting a flying lap now in the Force India. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. Obviously a driver that was doing a lot of reserve driving last season for N69, and his teammate Farthbert, I believe, also out on track at the moment. RDB has already put a lap time in, which has put him in 10th place. Now, for either of you two in the commentary box here, if you were on the soft compound tyre in qualifying, would you stick to just doing the 1 lap on them, or would you go for 2 hot laps on those tyres?
I think, for me, if you're going to start on the softs, you do it for race strategy purposes. So you are still ideally only want to do the 1 to have the benefit. Otherwise, you can only disadvantage yourself quite early on. But that's my thought. Don't know what a Arazor is.
I know nothing. Don't ask me.
I'm
not an expert.
We'll
I'm
have
just
to
watching and commentating the race.
we will have to change that, I'm sure. Okay, RDB. His Sector 1 was pretty good. His Sector 2 is a little bit slow. I'm just wondering if Hindle or Mystic Joker have been out on track yet, because I would like to.
Yeah, I'll go for an hour, I think.
Okay, let's see if RDB is going to improve on his lap time. It's looking very, very dull out there. RDB does improve, moves himself up to 7th place. Okay, so quick look at the current grid order.
Just starting lap almost, if you want to watch.
Okay, I think it's only fair that we go and ride on board with Hindle. We'll take you through a flying lap on board with him, which means we're going to commentators curse him. So heading up then to turn 1, braking just after the bridge at the 100-metre marker board. Get it turned in all over the apex. Immediately into turn 2, let the car run out as far wide as you dare. DRS wide open, heading down to turn 3. Brake at the 100 metres, try not to lock it up. And then into the car park section. Line and throttle usage so crucial through here into turn 5. Absolutely flat out for him, which it should be. Kink left into the right, left chicane. Always a bit far away from the apex, but he could still carry decent speed through there. And now we're heading up towards the turns 9 and 10. He's got cars ahead of him. They're going to have to be aware that the car behind is on a flying lap. Hindle Sector 1 at 28.6. Fantastic Sector 1 time there. Now turns 11 and 12. How's the car going to handle through here? Is it going to be flat? Down 3 into 5th. And then floor it through the exit beautifully through turns 11 and 12 there. Now to the gentler braking zone of turn 13. Can he get it into the apex? He does quite nicely. Confident on the throttle on the exit as well. Only 3 corners to go now. A 22.7 Sector 2. Good time that. Car gets out of the way. Beautiful penultimate corner there. Oh, this is going to be a good time. This is DRS wide open, and we're going to see the first into the 24s. A 25.0. That's a fantastic lap time. Question now is Mystic Joker, what have you got? He's crossing the line with a 26.6, but Mystic Joker on the soft compound tyre. That was one hell of a lap by Hindle there. That was one hell of a lap. And it is on the super soft tyre. So we've got Lefty Hardtail in 4th, Hybrid Nuke 6th. They're running the soft compound tyre. Interestingly, it said Mystic Joker was in about 6th place, but he's actually dead last. Unless I clicked. I must have clicked onto the wrong person. Well, there's so many drivers on track now. We'll have to wait to see what Mystic Joker can do. He's on an out lap. So who else have we got out on track?
I think they're all Hindle's. I know he's only been lap one, but he's on another lap one.
4th, but he's okay.
Richie Davies just improved his first sector by 10.
Oh, you're going to want this though. I can say you're going to want to know about this, Temp. You're from a Racing GP and his teammate from a Racing JS, both on hot laps. So take us through the rest of GP's lap.
I was on board with James there. Come through the 11 and 12. They've set pretty much the identical sectors. Actually, James is up by 2/10 in the middle, but first sector's identical. Coming to turn 13, and we're braking a bit after the 100 metre board. He's got very tight on that curve, I'll give him that. Through turn 40, I think. It's a horrible corner, don't want to run wide. And then 15 breakers later there, but locked up and goes straight on. Final corner. Not a nice one going the throttle, but just now just got to floor it and help the rest. And I think he's got about 8 laps because his time was frozen. Yep, his time's froze for the 27.7, but I think he backed up in the last sector. So he'll be going again. But will he want to do 2 laps on these set of tyres, or is he going to come in at the end of it?
If he's on the super soft tyre, so was that GP that you was watching there, or was it JS you were watching? GP, okay, no problem. JS has just gone and put himself in 2nd place. He's on an in-lap now, but he has just put himself 2nd place, but it's a second behind what Hindle has done at the moment. Let's go and see where Mystic Joker is on the track. He was on an out lap, and he's currently going through the car park section. Now, Mystic Joker, he's obviously very, very new to Furo Racing, but when the car selections were being done, he definitely came across as being a confident guy. He's actually just gone through Sector 1 with a 28.5 Sector 1 time. That is a 10th faster than Hindle was. Let's see what the Sector 2 time's going to be. I thought it was on the out lap, but my apologies. It's going to take us a while to get back into the swing of doing the commentary. Now, Mystic Joker has got a car ahead of him into turn 11 and 12. Are they going to get out of the way? Yes, they do quite nicely. It's a Ferrari, and it's a 22.8 Sector 2. I think that may be a 10th down on what Hindle did.
10.5 to 10. So he's overall a lap down at the moment, so he needs a really strong final sector.
Okay, let's see how he gets into the penultimate corner. Looking very stable on the brakes. Very stable on the exit as well. So heading up to the line, it's an important lap for him this. Where's he going to put him? It's 1st place. A Sector 3 time of a 33.4. First person into the 24s, and it's a 124.8.
Very strong last sector. I haven't seen a 33.4 yet.
No, I mean, looking at the sectors, I mean, Hindle was a 10th slower Sector 1, a 10th, nearly 2 tenths quicker Sector 2, but Sector 3 is where Mystic Joker has really pulled that out. Rickster is in 3rd place at the moment. Is he on another flying lap? I think he might be. Tony, do you have any information for us?
Yeah, I was watching a Hybrid Nuke in his flying lap, but he ran wide and went back to the pits. There's 4 minutes left. Let's see what he can do the remaining of the time.
Okey-doke. Now Rickster has I think Rickster's lap may be over, yeah, with a Sector 1 time like that. That'll be his lap over. GP's back out on track. And 69, he's been through Sector 1, currently sitting in 12th place with a 29.1 Sector 1, a 22.9 Sector 2. I tell you what, this is actually pretty good for Ant at the moment. Let's see how he gets on in Sector 3. If he can have a good Sector 3, he could find himself in the top 5 or 6 cars here.
As as we found out from last night's race, it was very tight. If you could do a 26, you had quite a lot of competition, so putting him anywhere in that ballpark, and he could have a strong race. He had a very messy final corner there.
He did well to save that. Could cost him a bit of time. He's only gained the one place now, as with a 126.7. Okay, we've got Dave the Harp and Jason both on track at the moment. They're in the Ferraris. Jason's lap has been invalidated. His teammate Dave the Harp, he's on the soft compound tyre. He seemed to have had a very, very slow Sector 1 time. I wonder if that was... yeah, it's an abandoned lap with just under 3 minutes left of the session. So let's see.
I believe Hybrid New is out on track somewhere, but I'm currently watching Paul or Farther. He's on the soft tyres and he's on a 29.2 in the first sector, so that's not bad considering the tyres he's on. Just in sector 2 now, 23 dead. Entering the last sector, he has got a Ferrari ahead of him. Hopefully they'll get out of his way. They're quite nice, which they have done. Now into the last heavy braking zone for his lap end. Yeah, tidy. Into turn 14, not ran wide. What you can hope for that corner really. But if he can put himself, if he can get a 26 on these set of tyres, he's looking fairly strong. Well, at least being in comfortable position anyway. Crossing the line now, he's set a 34.3 in the last sector, 26.7 overall, what's his 10th? Not a bad time. Might feel like he might want to improve on that then.
Definitely will. Now, while you were talking there, I've been watching Hybrid Nuke, Sector 1 time of a 28.8. Now, unfortunately, on this view, I can't see if that's green or a purple or anything like that, but I'm fairly sure.
28.5 is the purple one.
Okay, so 3 temps down, Sector 1, 22.7 Sector 2. Which is about level with purple, I believe, at the moment. Into Sector 3 then, and this is where Mystic Joker pulled out all of the lap time. Oh, Hybrid very sideways there, rear end kicking out on him. Touch and go as to whether that'll have gained him a bit of time or lost him a bit of time. Rear end kicking again, heading up to the line now. He's going to cross it. He's in 11th at the moment, and that takes him to 4th. That was a very, very important lap for him there. Okay, let's see. Hindle, he's back out on track. He's just about to start another flying lap, but we're not going to be able to see the whole of anyone's laps or sector times now. I mean, Temp, if you were Hindle, is this now just all about... Oh, I believe we have just lost TempFear from the lobby, which is massively unfortunate. But we will keep going. I think what was that, Temp? Your game's just crashed. Oh no!
My application is crashed. I was waiting for that.
Okay. Right, I'm just having a look. Hindle, I tell you what, Hindle has just been blocked on this particular fly-in lap. I think that's that's his lap over. That's massively disappointing. Now, unfortunately, Temp, you may not be able to rejoin, although Arazor should have sent you a friend request. The only way you may be able to get back in is if he sends you the invite. Okay.
So as the host, you don't want the host to rejoin?
It's not a case of we don't want, it's a case of the host usually can't. In every one of the sessions we've done so far, when the host gets disconnected, they can't get back in. I am in discussions with Codemasters about it at the moment. Rickster looks like he's just abandoned his lap. Hybrid Nuke, he's on an in-lap. JS, his session is over. And yet Rickster, his session is over. So not many cars left on the track. Now, Arazor, because TempFear is now out of the session at the moment, unfortunately that drops you in a little bit of a tricky scenario, although I will try and help you out, because I am going to have to leave the session at the end of this qualifying 18 minutes to be able to rejoin and catch the start of the race on the broadcast view. So while I'm off screen, we may need you to run through the qualifying order, so if you want to get ready for doing that, but I will try and get through the opening few on the list. And TempFear, if you can keep us updated as to whether you're able to get back in or not.
He didn't have an invite, or not that I can see of anyway, so unfortunately not.
Okay. You should have had an invite off myself as well, so you might want to retry going through my name on the friends list or on the previous invite. Well, basically, every time that we've tested it with regarding the host, basically once the host has been disconnected or left or what have you, they just simply cannot get back in. It invalidates all of the previous invites. As we wait... Okay, well, I'll tell you what then, Temp, you might just have to keep an eye on the YouTube channel for us. You can keep us updated and give us your information, and keep an eye on the replays and things like that. I have just noticed as well that Nightwalker, it said, has left the session, but it is advised to all of the drivers that if you see the host of the session leave, basically the instructions to the drivers is keep driving until you receive a new invite. So anyone that goes, oh well, the host has left, I better leave, that's the wrong thing to do. Obviously, if there's a major dysfunction with the broadcast system, then obviously a new session would potentially have to be run. Now, it looks like Hybrid Nuke is still doing laps at the moment, which shouldn't really be possible because the session has ended. And to be honest, if he does go and put in a faster lap time now, it wouldn't quite be right. Okay, so I'll try and run through a few of these now. Mystic Joker takes pole position, Hindle takes second, Rickster third, Hybrid Nuke 4th, From a Racing JS 5th, Twist Royalty 6th, From a Racing GP 7th, Richie Davey in 8th, Millstar in 9th, and Lefty Hardtail rounds out the top 10. And Arazor, if you'd be able to take the viewers through who the rest of the field was, and I shall leave and come back in a moment.
Yeah, we have 11th, we have Fartba, 12th and 13th RDP, 14th Everclow, 15th Andrew Russell, 16th Dave the Harp, 17th Jason, 18 we have Felipe Massa, and 19 Conso. And that's about that.
A bit of information, Front Racing GP, he didn't get out of the pits for his last run in qualifying, so he's a bit annoyed over that.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, Arazor, I'll need you to let me know once the formation lap has begun, so that I can rejoin. TempFear, I'll also see if I'm going to be able to perhaps send you another invite when I rejoin as well. Well, that's something I will see if it'll give me the option to do. But this, I know this is frustrating for the viewers at the moment, but this is the only way that Codemasters have told us that we're able to watch the start of the race on a broadcast. But obviously, if we do have any issues here, and then we may have to look at doing some form of safety car restart. But yeah, the drivers, everyone will have to bear with us. So yeah, Tony, if you can let us know when the formation lap has begun, and then also while you're on the pause menu on the formation lap, you'll be able to look at the race director and see exactly what tyres people are on.
Be interesting to see what tyres anyone outside the top 10 does start on. See if they go super soft or mediums to go along. Could decide what happens with the front runners as well.
It definitely could do. It really definitely could do. I mean, if you qualified 11th...
formation lap has begun.
Okay, I shall now rejoin and see if we can get back into the invite. Absolutely do there other than go, which I'm going to try now. This broadcast is going to end for a split second, so bear with me a few moments, folks.